What's up, you guys? It's your Tuesday guy, Daevion. It's still Tuesday over here, so yeah. But this week's topic, we were talking about safe binding, and how to do that, basically. So, but like just binding in general is dangerous. I mean, there's safe binding, and even that could be very non-safe. But I mean, things like for safety. So when I was binding with the GC2 binders, um, and they're like $25 to $30. I mean, so they're not too expensive, but they are very pricey. Um, and so that I was using KT tape for a while, for like a little bit. I would use that like on certain days. I wouldn't do it every day because that wasn't safe. So if I was going to like the beach or something and I didn't want to wear a binder or my binder to show when I was wearing a tank top, you just use KT tape. But even that isn't. They even don't recommend that. There's this new thing. It's for trans binding tape. Fuck, I forgot what it's called. I swear it's like trans binding tape. I don't know, but they have like it comes in like a brown package. I forgot who sells it, but it's like all over Instagram. Um, but I don't really know too much about binding because I didn't even bind for a full year. I bind for like a couple months, and then like a couple months into my transition, I had top surgery because, well, actually, hold on, pause. Let me go back. So I wasn't binding safely. So if you're gonna, okay, with the binders, um, don't buy one that's too small because it cuts off it cuts off your breathing. It could damage ribs, and so what I did was I started with like this mesh binder, like that kind of clipped, and that was like I think it was a medium, and it was kind of big. And I mean, if you get a binder that's too big, I mean, it's not gonna bind good. So you have to get one that's like perfect for you. Um, so I got that like a mesh one from like Amazon, and it didn't work that well. So I bought a small. That it was a small or extra small. So then I went down to an extra small. No, I went to a small. I went to a small for a while, and then I was like, I still felt super dysphoric, so I bought an extra small and I wore that, and I wore the hell out of that, even though it was not good for me because my breathing was, because it was too small, so my breathing was ass. My ribs would like hurt, like really bad when I was wearing it, and you're not supposed to wear your binder at night when you go to sleep. You're supposed to take it off. I mean, like I think it's like you wear it for 8. You can wear it up to 8 hours a day and then give it a rest. But I was wearing it constantly all day, every day, and so that was not, especially the extra small was just my ribs hurt really bad, but it was just not so. My ribs, it was so bad that I was like I can't, because I was gonna wait till like after my year on T to see like if my chest would shrink more before getting top surgery, but I was at that point where I was like I just can't do it anymore. I can't wait, and I can't keep punishing my body for this. And so I was like, okay, I just gotta suck it up and just get top surgery. I mean, and it's not that easy for a lot of people, but my insurance covered 100% of my surgery, so that was like a plus. But yeah, I didn't bind for a long time, so I don't really know much about it. But my boyfriend, he bind for like 3 years, I think, before he got top surgery, so he might know a lot more. Babe, come here. So yeah, he might know a lot more about binding and like tips on that because he did it for like 3 years, and he had like bad experiences with it. So, baby, what is your like view on like safety binding?
Safety binding?
Yes, because you binded more like longer than I did.
I binded for like 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years, something like that.
Oh, then I was way off. I said 3 years.
It was close. It was close. By the time I had top surgery, it was gonna be 3 years or something like that. I binded more than I should have, I think.
Yeah, me too.
I binded sometimes even when I was in the shower because I was really dysphoric about my chest. God, it was such a long time ago. I think for me, the biggest thing about binding, especially when it was hot, I felt it a lot more. I wouldn't go swimming without a binder, and I barely went swimming at all with one. I think when it comes to safety, some people try to bind a lot tighter than what their chest actually allows for, and that can be very harmful, especially for your ribs and the chest tissue that you have, because your skin, when you have surgery, that skin stretches, and so
You guys knock it off.
the dogs. And so when you have a binder on, it's pulling all that skin down, so it can actually make those stretch marks in that skin, and it can make it hard for that to heal, and it can make the collagen kind of deplete because it's just you're stretching your skin out a lot more. So don't bind less than what you can. Some people start out binding with like double sports bras. Really unsafe or unhealthy binding is like using, some people use duct tape historically, other people would use ace bandages. A lot of folks that don't have resources will use those things.
That's what I forgot that bandages.
Now it's a lot more popular. There's like binding tape that people use. There's also like KT tape that folks will use to compress their chest. I would go with that if you have the means to do that, or using like GC2B is a good binding situation. Some people do underworks. Some people have done other things.
Underworks is mad expensive, more expensive than GC2B.
Yeah, it is. GC2B at the time when I was binding was like $32. It would be like $34, $36. And they do have scholarships and we're like gently used binders, which is a really nice program.
When did they start that?
They had it for a while. I don't know if they're still doing it, but they used to, or they still are. Underworks is super expensive. There's like $42 or $46.
Like $56 for a tank top.
It was a lot. But get breathable ones. There's some where they're like full compression, so they'll compress all the way down here. And there's some GC2Bs only went like here. So just be mindful of kind of what you're comfortable with and try both.
That's what I forgot to say. When it's a feather or something. When I was binding the first couple months, I got the tank top binder. That shit was hot.
Yeah, they get hot
hell.
and they get sweaty.
I would recommend the tri-top. Is that what it's called? The tri-top one that only like goes to like right here.
Yeah, it's like it'll be a half. Some people do like 3/4 of the way. If folks that have a bigger chest, and then some people just do like the full binding if they're trying to do other body masculinization type things. They want their body to be more confined. Just be careful with the heat. The heat is a huge thing, and or like if you play a lot of sports, there's not a lot of breathability in those binders. And I remember playing basketball games or softball games or running track with these things on, and it was not good. I felt more comfortable than I would have if I was just wearing a sports bra, but I wouldn't have, had I chosen what to wear, I would have worn a binder. That being said, it was very difficult to breathe. They recommend not wearing them for more than 8 hours, some for not more than 12 hours. I didn't do that. I wore mine all of the time, and that's not a recommendation to do so. I couldn't see my chest any other way than without it being compressed. And so, yeah, that would make me very dysphoric. So I bind in more often than I should have. You're not supposed to sleep in it. Do not sleep in that if you can. I tried it a couple different times before surgery. Just let your body breathe at night. So if you can sleep with the binder off, I recommend it, especially if you're going to be binding all day, just so that your body can breathe. You can let your chest breathe. You can let your stomach and your lungs actually fully inflate and deflate as they're supposed to. Other than that, if you're having trouble binding, it was a weird step for me. It's one of the first steps I took in terms of my transition, not just with names and bathrooms, but like actually binding and doing things to make it so I felt more comfortable.
Yeah, binding was the first thing that I did too.
Some people bind and later move to packing. Some people bind and only bind. Some people never pack. So it's just depending on where you are. pre-T, post-T, like just different things. Do what's right for you. You don't have to bind. That's the other thing. People think, okay, well, you have to feel this way about your body. You don't have to bind. You know that any way that you choose to transition is totally okay. That doesn't mean you have to be dysphoric all the time. That doesn't mean that if your chest is something that you're really proud about, that you're no less trans than anybody else that has chosen to bind or chosen to have surgery. So, yeah, just remember there's no one way to be trans, and that whether that's surgery, binding, not doing that, using tape, being really proud of your chest, whatever that looks like, that's totally up to you. Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, he covered a lot of the things that I covered, but then he covered a lot of things that I didn't cover because either I forgot about it or I just didn't know. But yeah.